Everyone, today let me continue the topic excretion in humans. Currently, I am using the book called Selena Publication. And if you are using other books of other publication of class 7, you can also view this video. So in the last class, we have already discussed about the nephrons, which is structural and functional unit of kidney. We also discussed about the structure of the kidney, and we also discussed about the excretory system, excretory organs, and what is excretion, what are the substances that need to be excreted. Now we are going to learn about the role of kidney in urine filtration, urine formation. Okay, urine formation. The kidneys are made up of millions of microscopic units called nephrons. So nephrons are structural and functional unit of kidney. So kidney is made up of millions of nephrons. They are surrounded by network of blood capillaries, and these nephrons have the network of blood capillaries. So the main function of this nephron is to filter the blood and produce the urine. So the main function of this nephron is to filter these bloods and therefore getting the urine. So blood which enters the kidney through the renal artery contains unwanted substances as well as some useful substances. So this is of renal artery. From this renal artery only many useful substance and unuseful substance is present. Unuseful in the sense waste substances. So the nephrons will remove these waste substances and remove this excess of water, mineral salts and urea from the blood and convert into the urine. They also reabsorb certain useful substances like glucose, sodium and potassium ions that are needed to be body and put it back into the blood. So these nephrons will take unuseful things such as excess water, mineral salt, but it also takes nephrons remove these things, but from that also it will make again subdivision and take many useful things such as glucose, sodium and potassium ions. The blood that finally leaves the kidney is pure. So when the blood that leaves the kidney is pure, devoid of all waste and contains the right amount of water and other useful substances required to the body. So why the blood that finally leaves the kidney is pure means, so the kidney will filter that blood and remove all the excess salts, water, minerals, and that blood after purifying will be pure. The urine that is formed in the kidneys is sent to the ureters, that is further temporarily collected in the urinary bladder. The urine which is formed in the kidney will send into this ureter and which is stored in this urinary bladder. Finally it comes out in the urethra. So this kidney will purify the blood by taking all these unuseful substances and send to this ureter next to the urinary bladder, next to the urethra, which will come outside. So when the bladder is full, the urine is expelled to outside through urethra. As I told you that when the bladder is filled, it expelled out through urethra. It passes out of the body through urethra. The process of expulsion means sending out the urine outside the body is called urination. So this definition is important. What is urination? The process of releasing, you can also say releasing of urine outside of our body is called as urination. The normal human urine mainly consists of water, urea, uric acid and mineral salt. So these mineral salt are in less amount. Now coming to the accessory excretory organs. So the main excretory organ which we have discussed, that is of kidney, urethra, uterus, urinary bladder. So these are main part, but accessory excretory organs are secondary, means these are of skin, lungs, liver and salivary glands. So beside kidney, some other organs also help in removal of waste products. These are skin, lungs, liver and salivary glands. So these only we will call as accessory excretory organs. So let me learn the first accessory excretory organ, that is of skin. The major excretory function of the skin is to produce this sweat, which on the evaporation from the surface of the skin causes cooling, right? Cooling effect. Sweat is secreted by sweat glands. These are located under the skin. Underneath the skin. These glands have ducts which open on the surface of the skin. So these sweat glands, which is on the underneath of the skin, have ducts. Through these ducts, the sweat comes out of the body. So these things, sweat as the water, salts and urea and uric acids, right? So this is the way where the skin help in excretion. So now coming to the another accessory excretory organ, that is of lungs. So we have learned that during the breakdown of glucose, during the process called respiration, carbon dioxide is produced. But when these carbon dioxide are produced, these passes from the blood into the lungs and then it will be exhaled through nose. This is how lungs will help. Lungs help in removal of carbon dioxide, which is carbon dioxide is produced by breakdown of glucose. So another accessory excretory role of liver. How the liver will help. Breakdown of amino acid in the liver produces urea. So urea and uric acid are harmful, right? Urea is then carried to the kidneys from where it is excreted out in the urine. So these liver also help in elimination of bile pigments, extra vitamins and many other drugs which get accumulated there. So these liver help in elimination, removing of pigments, extra vitamins and many other drugs present which is present there. Now coming to the osmoregulation. What is this osmoregulation? Beside removing of urea and uric acid from the blood, the kidneys also help in maintaining of water and salt concentration. This is called osmoregulation. What is osmoregulation? Kidneys help in regulation of water and salt content. This is known as osmoregulation. During summer, we urinate fewer times, right? Then in the winter, and the urine passed is usually more concentrated. The reason being that in summer we lose much of the water through sweat. So means in summer we urinate less times, then compared to the winter winter we urinate more, and also that concentration of urine is also more. The reason is that in summer the skin will help. That's the reason in summer most of the urine, most of these things will lose in the form of sweat, will go in the form of sweat. And due to the heat in summer, all the urine will go in the form of sweat. Okay, that's the reason. And in the winter there is no temperature, so more urine will pass during the winter season. But in the summer season, so these urine means that excess of water, salts, right, urea and uric acid will evaporate by sweat, thereby reducing the urine times. Coming to some common disaster of urinary system. So kidney stone is also one of the main disaster of urinary system. Let me learn how. So let me learn how are kidney stone formed. They are formed when the crystal forming substances such as calcium oxide, calcium phosphate and uric acid are more than the fluid in the urine. Okay, so they are formed. How they are kidney stone are formed? When the crystal forming substances, which are stone like substances such as calcium oxide, calcium phosphate, uric acid and many more than the fluid in the urine. When these chemicals started sticking together, they form crystals. commonly called kidney stones. So when these calcium phosphide, calcium oxide, uric acid, they combine to form a crystal-like structure, ball-like structure, stone-like structure, that is called as a kidney stone. This may be formed in any area of the excretory system that causes several pain. They block the flow of urine if they are present in the uterus, urinary bladder or urethra. Very often they have to be removed surgically. So where they are present, let me show you in the diagram. So these kidney stone may be formed in the ureter, next in the urethra, and next in the urinary bladder. So these are the areas where the kidney stone can be formed. By drinking more water, these crystals can be controlled. Next, coming to the urinary tract infection. So it is an infection of a part of the urinary system, the kidneys. So ureter, your urinary bladder will be infected. So this causes the bacteria gain entry into this urinary tract and overcomes the body defense present there. Common symptoms include strong and frequent urge to urination and painful and burning sensation while urinating. It is treated with antibiotics and can be cured within 2 to 3 days. Okay, and next coming to the diabetes, which is very painful and very harmful. So presence of glucose in the urine indicates the person is suffering from diabetes mellitus. So if the glucose is more, diabetes mellitus is going to happen. This is a disease in which sugar level in the blood is much higher than the normal level. The excess sugar is excreted through urine. So if the sugar level is more than the normal, so the diabetes is caused. So if the urine system is good, it will be excreted, but if urine system fail, it causes the diabetes as it cannot remove the presence of glucose. So the presence of blood cells in the urine may indicate the infection, tumor, internal bleeding or damage to the kidneys. So the presence of blood cells also make this. So what happens if the kidney fails? So sometimes one or both the kidneys may stop working properly. This may happen if they become infected, serious injury or damage due to some reasons. The person can well manage with a one kidney, but if both the kidneys fail, so there should be what? The kidney transfer, right? So one of the treatment for such a person is to dialysis, is to do the process called dialysis. So this dialysis process can be done only when one kidney is gone, but if both the kidney is gone, so we should do the kidney transfer at that case. So we can also do dialysis when both the kidney fail, but the cost will be more. So in both the kidney fails, dialysis can be done, but the cost will be more. So the person with complete kidney failure needs dialysis done in the hospital to lead a normal life. As alternatively, a patient with both the kidney damage can undergo kidney transplant, means kidney transfer from a suitable donor. The donor can live normally with a single kidney and recipients get at least a life. Okay, kidney transfer or dialysis, these are the two processes what we can do during the kidney transfer
failure.
So this is the end of this chapter. So we will meet you when we are doing another chapter for class 7 ICSE. So still then, stay tuned. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. By doing so, I will be impressed to make more videos like